Hi everyone, and thanks for joining me. So this is a new series that I want to do on this channel. I've thought about it for a while, and I've just been a bit lazy if I'm honest. But yeah, basically this is called Head to Head, and I just want to state right off the bat, this is not a decluttering series. This isn't gonna be, oh, I'm gonna choose one over the other. Basically, I want to put two decks that are quite similar together and basically just talk about the pros and cons. And if someone wants to use the video to choose between them, that's cool, but it's not meant to be one is better than the other. It's just meant to be like, oh, these are some of the pros of this one, these are some of the cons. So yeah, I thought today we would start with the Hedgewitch Botanical by Cielo Thompson and the Greenwich Oracle by Sherilyn Darcy. As you can see, the sizes are quite different for the boxes. This one is by Llewellyn and this one is by Rockpool. So we'll start with this one so you can see what the box is like. I actually got this in a trade on Vinted. I traded my Ethereal Visions by Matt Hughes because I wasn't using it, and yeah, so this is really nice. It's quite a nice box. It comes with a ribbon. Let me see, I can't remember how many cards are in here. 40 cards. So this is 40 cards. So these are the card backs. They're really, really beautiful. If you love a minimalist style, this is such a good deck. You know, it has the pops of color. Yeah, but first let me get into the guidebook. So the guidebook is quite substantial, as are most Llewellyn books, guidebooks. So what I like about this book is it has a section on how to use the cards, but also it has a section on foraging and plant use. So, you know, with a few of these cards, you can forage them, meaning you can just find them in the wild. And if you're not experienced or, you know, if you're new to it, it kind of gives you some good bit of information. Like it talks about over harvesting, which you shouldn't do because, you know, we need to leave fruit and plants for the birds to eat. And then also like the no trace policy. So it's a little bit of an introduction, but it's a good jumping off point if you're like, hey, I maybe want to get into foraging, but I have no idea where to start. And then, you know, you have a big, massive, full color reproduction of the card. Basically what it says on it. And then it talks about, like, this first bit is about, like, the actual plant. And then the second bit is normally, like, the oracle message. Oh no, I did that wrong. This second bit, yeah. So it has like a couple pages on each one. Yeah, so it has quite a lot on the actual plant. Sorry for the glare, but and then yeah, this is the section on the oracle message. So you can always kind of, if you're not interested in plant lore and you know more about the plant, then you can just always skip it to go to basically the last paragraph, and that's always going to be the oracle message. So this is cool because it shows you like what you're looking for if you're new to foraging. Yeah, so it's quite cool. Again, here's the last oracle property. It also, let me see, at the back, so it has some closing thoughts. It has sources and suggested reading, which is great if you want to dive a bit deeper. And it has some recipes, which is really cool. So they're seasonally based. I think, let me see if, no, they're not vegan because this one has beeswax. So if you're vegan like I am, you'd have to find a different ingredient to substitute that. Like here there's butter and creme fraiche. But yeah, like creamy nettle soup, that's like really cool because nettles are really easy to find everywhere. Fried dandelion, like that's an interesting one. So yeah, and then like I said, it's seasonal, so it's pretty good. It's pretty thorough. And then I'll show some of the cards. What I've done is I've separated out the cards that they have in common. There's only, I think, like 3 cards that they have in common. So that's another thing. If you're making a decision between these 2 decks, you can see, you know, how many cards, or if you want to get both decks, it's like there's only 3 cards that overlap. So it might be worth it for you if, you know, you're interested in both. But yeah, I like that it has the plant name, the, oh gosh, what is that? The, like, Latin name, oh, I should have looked that up. I always forget what it's called. But then also a keyword. I know a lot of people really like having a keyword rather than just the, plant title, so you don't have to look in the book. You can kind of intuitively think about what it means for you. But yeah, I love the beautiful, like, simple line work of Sayolo's drawing. Like, her illustrations are just really beautiful. They're very earthy, which I really like as well. Sorry, the camera keeps focusing and refocusing. But yeah, so that's kind of a little preview of the deck. So I'll put that off to the side. And then we have the Green Witch Oracle by Sherilyn Darcy. This is a cute little deck. So both are on glossy cardstock. I'll show the size difference. So you can see the Green Witch Oracle is a lot bigger. So it's like, I think this is like standard Oracle size, whereas this is, it's smaller than Tarot, I think, or maybe it's not. Maybe I should have gotten a tarot card to compare, but oh well. You can just see that this is bigger. I really like that the backs are reversible, as are these ones. Although there's not necessarily reversed meanings, but you know, you could figure that out. But yeah, so this book comes with a little, this deck comes with a little chunky guidebook. So there's 44 cards in this one, so 4 more than the Hedgewitch's Botanical, the Hedgewitch Botanical deck. So yeah, let's see what there is. So how to use the card in the guidebook, and then there's like a few spreads. So that's quite cool because the other one doesn't have spreads. So the Garden Shed, a Garden of Magic, and the Garden Year spread. So there's not like loads of spreads, but 3, and they're quite unique as well. It's not just like showing the Celtic cross, which I really like. I always like when there's, you know, something specific to the actual deck. And then yeah, so the first section is vegetables, and what you get is you get the keyword first, you get the name of, you know, the plant, the vegetable, the flower, whatever it is. You get the Latin name. You get a quote. So for carrot, it says, when people will not weed their own minds, they are apt to be overrun by nettles. So that's interesting because I mentioned nettles earlier. So then there's the oracle meaning, and this is about the cultivation. So if you actually want to be growing it, and then there's also magical correspondences. So like if you're using it for spell work, it has uses. So if, you know, I don't like the fact that it says fertility. I think people shouldn't be messing with that kind of stuff. But yeah, so if you want, you know, more passion in your life, you know, you want to ground more. It also has deities, celestial correspondences, and astrological sign, which is Virgo, which is me, and we're in Virgo season, yay. And it also has a spell. So this one, you know, it has headlines, which is a lot more easy to read. So you, compared to the Hedgewitch Botanical, you don't need to read all of it. You can just go to the part that interests you. So I think it's a bit more easy to dip in and out of it if you're kind of on the go. So it also has a spell. And then, yeah, each one kind of has the same format. They have a spell, a quote, oracle meaning, how to cultivate it, and magical correspondences. So for such a small, you know, kind of compact guidebook, you do actually get quite a lot. So yeah, first was vegetables, then, which was earth, then there's fire, which are herbs. Then there's water, which are fruits. And then there's air, which is flowers. So you get a bit more diversity of yeah, because you basically get 4 different suits and they're all elemental. Yeah, so you just get a bit more diversity than the Hedgewitch Botanical. Let's see. This has a glossary, which is really good because if you're new to gardening or, you know, plant work, you might not know all the technical words. So this is good. And then there's also bibliography here, which is really good. There's a bit about the author. I really like her decks. I also have her Flowers of the Night deck, which is really cool. And then acknowledgements. So I'll go ahead and show you some cards. I just love the style of this. It's really cool and contemporary. Like, I like the fact that there's little hints at what, you know, the oracle meaning is. And I just, yeah, I like that there's a number on it so you can quickly find it in the guidebook. I think it's just really beautiful. And I like that the element is on there as well. So if you read elementally, you could very easily use this, let's say alongside a tarot deck or, yeah, like another oracle deck. And I like how it has vegetables because I don't think I've ever had a deck that has vegetables in it, and especially common ones like onion and carrot. It just seems a bit more grounded, and it's like things that people will have in their house kind of all the time, rather than the Hedgewitch Botanical, which, you know, they're not necessarily things you would grow or buy all the time. Rosemary. Sadly, our rosemary plant has died. We had a massive plant outside, and because of the number of heat waves we've had here, it's just gone completely brown. I'm really hoping that it hasn't completely died and that maybe it'll come back. But yeah, it's very sad. But yeah, cucumber, my favorite vegetable. And the flowers are quite, yeah, I just feel like this is a really grounding, easy to work with deck, and that it would appeal to people who are maybe new to plant work and maybe even new to oracles, but are interested in plant work, because there's not that many unusual things that you might not have heard of. Like everyone knows what thyme is, lemon, you know, and like lemon with cleansing, like that's a really obvious correspondence. So yeah, it's really cool. Bay, wisdom. So yeah, let me show you the overlaps, basically. So there's this one, violet, attract, and then there's this one, violet, tranquility. You can see the art styles are a bit different, but I just think they're both beautiful. This one works, I think, if you like a bit more minimalism, and this one works if you like a bit more of a contemporary vibe. I'll put these back here. The next one is, so this one's not a like for like match, it's just rose. So this is wild rose, which is for clarity, and then this one is pink rose, which is for gratitude. But yeah, these were the closest to each other. And strawberry. So the keyword for this is enjoy, and then the keyword for this is enjoyment. So basically, I think it just depends on what you're looking for and what your aesthetic is. If you want, you know, a bit more minimalism, or if you want something that's a bit more grounded and easy to work with right out of the box. Yeah, so I'll leave a little kind of pro and con, but really someone's pro could be someone else's con. Like someone might hate minimalism, so that wouldn't work for them. So it's not really, basically they're just characteristics of each deck, and it depends on what you like. So yeah, I'm hoping to do more of these because I do have a few decks that are very similar, but that I use in different ways. These two I kind of use in the same way, so I didn't really talk about that much. But yeah, let me know if you like this series. I'll be using the hashtag head to head. So if you want to join in, and, you know, put your own decks together and kind of talk about your pros and cons, what you like about it, what works, what doesn't, what suits, you know, one style and what doesn't, that would be cool. Otherwise, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.